Hello, hello, hello. It's me, 09. And in this video, we'll be watching Yiman, the single mother Vtuber that overcame everything. Video will be in the description. I need to remember to say that more often. Yeah. Yeah. As you see, I watched some of it, but not of everything, so this will still be my fresh reaction. I hope that my PNG content isn't problem for VTuber fans, so let's start.
On April 9th, 2025, a JP indie VTuber named Otsuka Rei posts a heartfelt letter to her daughter starting kindergarten.
My daughter Reika will be entering kindergarten this spring. Without everybody's support, I wouldn't have been able to raise her as a single mother.
From these two sentences alone, I knew I had to tell Rei's story to the Western audience. Inspired, I DM'd Rei for an interview to learn more about this Brazilian story of being a single mother in Japan and being able to support her only daughter through her VTuber activities. Rei graciously agreed to answer my questions, so now I will tell her story. This story begins with a Japanese girl falling in love with a particular individual. Sadly, he ended up being a playboy and Rei got dumped. If things couldn't be even more intense, she found out that she was pregnant.
The day I found out I was unexpectedly pregnant, I felt anxious. My parents were repeatedly in and out of the hospital, and I don't have any siblings. I wasn't sure if I could raise a baby properly without anyone to rely on.
She was definitely on the fence about giving birth, and to complicate things, Rei was a physically weak person, so people around her was concerned about whether she could safely give birth. What shifted Rei's mind was her familiar duties to her father and grandmother. Both of these family members told Rei personally that they wanted to see the face of her unborn daughter, and these very words influenced this young woman to give birth.
My father received a terminal prognosis and my grandmother was already of an old age. I wanted to make them happy.
This movie, I think, is Wolf Children. I remember the movie, but I don't really remember in name. It's about woman that fell in love in werewolf. The werewolf died, and she was pregnant, and her children inherited, yes, this word, inherited werewolf genes, and these movies about their life coping with that aspect of themselves. I didn't really watch the movie. I'm not really movie guy, to be fair. But from what I heard, it's good, so I recommend it.
Happy while they were still alive. And this feeling also motivated my determination to give birth to Reika-chan.
It was important to mention that Reika's birth itself was a difficult one. Due to Rei's weak physical body, she was actually in critical condition during the child rearing process. It got so bad at one point, the doctor approached Rei's father and asked him, "Do you want to save Rei or Reika?" Thankfully, both did their best to persevere, and so Reika safely came into this world. It was during this time where a president of some agency tried to recruit this new mother to become an idol streamer at their company. Because Ray loves singing and dancing and needed a source of income to support her newborn, she
Oshinoko.
jumped at the opportunity. This is kind of where Ray entered her Oshinoko arc because
So-
while she was doing her idol activities, she had to keep it a secret from her fans that Reika exists. Lady Luck was on this new idol side because she was getting more popular as an idol streamer and was actually getting a lot of money from fans. But at a certain point, Ray felt a growing burden of lying to her fans. But on a much more important note, there's also the possibility of making Reika feel lonely. This is where she made a complete career shift towards VTubing. But why VTubing?
Originally, I performed as an idol without concealing my face, but I had an opportunity to perform alongside VTubers at an event. Witnessing how much they enjoyed performing and how brightly they shone on stage sparked my interest in this world of VTubing. I was also deeply moved by the enthusiasm of the fans, which made me think I also want to dive into this world too.
VTubing just made sense in this case because it was the optimal choice of raising Reika as a single mother by being able to work from home while maintaining a certain level of privacy. What made things even more interesting is that this new VTuber made the conscious decision of including Reika in her streams.
My daughter is still young and in such an irreplaceable stage of childhood, so I would always like to be by her side. As expected.
I don't know. I don't know if this a good idea. I hope she does everything to keep her safe, but being active on internet and in that way I seen many times how this thing affects young people. I hope she knows what she's doing.
Baby Reika would cry for milk every few hours. I don't have anyone close to me whom I can trust Reika to, and I think it's impossible to hide the truth while doing streaming activities alone.
One other thing that Ray mentioned was that she fondly looked back on the times her parents had recorded videos of her childhood. In many of the same ways, streaming together with her daughter was a way to preserve her daughter's growth and memories.
Yeah, but
Well,
it
I'm
isn't the
very
same.
happy Reika was included in her streams because she is so precious. I mean, look at the time she found out that she was going to Sanrio Boroland.
長すぎる長いサンリオピューロランドご招待券でございます見せたいねサンリオピューロランドっていうのがあるんですよ
Personally, my favorite part of this dynamic is when Reika would jump on for a karaoke stream and sing with her mother.
こっちに出ていこうねごめんなさいはいごめんなさいはい
Cute.
なんで今蹴りが入ったのなんで今蹴り最後にしたの
I'm thankful to God this girl isn't my niece because if she asked for pocket money at a family function, I would deadass Venmo her $500, send her 5.59 Bitcoin, and start a trust fund for her.
Okay, you are
Ray-san
too weak.
actually shared with me that she plans on releasing an original song with Reika-chan and it will be a cute children's song. On my mama, when that peak drops, you know what I'm blasting when the bros hand me the aux cord. What's truly amazing is how a medium like VTubing makes content like this accessible and is able to give individuals like Ray an opportunity to pursue their dreams, but also have the opportunity of being so involved with raising their children.
I am truly glad from the bottom of my heart that I chose to become a VTuber.
I think it's good for her, but don't take her situation as prescription what you should do. Follow the straight path as much as you can. She had really hard situation with this. Like, not everyone has situations like that. So, remember, do what is the best for you. The straight path usually takes you to happier places. When you diverge from straight path, you can find some interesting or amazing things, but it won't make you happy. She is lucky to have this sort of happiness, but if you decide to follow her, just try to keep yourself on the straight path, on the usual path, the path that is consistently good across the ages and cultures. Just have full family. That is the best for the child and the best for family. So don't just go after somebody that isn't trustworthy. Don't go with them to the bed. Don't. Learn from mistakes of others. Sorry for this kinda rant, but I felt like I need to say something about it because stories about people and their broken households, it's just something that saddens me. I don't have anybody missing in my family, but it's just painful. Like, why would you break up from something like that? The time with family was the most happy times I had as person. Sorry, I get probably too emotional. Let's resume.
My body isn't very strong, so I believe it will be difficult for me to continue as an idol or get a regular full-time job while raising a child on my own. I was a victim of stalking during my idol days, so for the sake of protecting my child's privacy, being a VTuber where I don't have to show myself is the choice that can give me peace of mind. Most importantly, because the VTuber work style exists, I don't have to miss the irreplaceable moments of being with Reika.
But beyond this miracle story, I also wanted to get Ray's perspective on being a single mother in Japan. It would be an understatement to say that there is a huge negative stigma towards single mothers in this country. Japan is a place that embraces traditional values and has a strong emphasis on family structure.
Well, it's sad, but this is normal. Like, if your society doesn't support that, it dies off after the time, and or have problems like in America, where people cannot hold relationship that long, and kids are without one of their parents, then this isn't healthy. So this is sad consequences of that. My heart goes to people affected and also my understanding, but this is in life. There are things that are painful, and sad, but we need to accept them as they are and move on. Life isn't about avoiding pain and maximizing pleasure. Happiness isn't about not having pain. Happiness is about love, about being truly united. And it's hard, it's scary, it's painful. But we need to share the painful and the happy times. So, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't find it this criticism of society as... I think it should be acknowledged, but I don't know, maybe I'm mean, maybe I'm wrong, but this is just necessary part of the culture.
Especially having a two-parent household. A single mother is the complete antithesis of this. So when a normal Japanese person initially runs into single mothers, they are instantly labeled as irresponsible, failed, or even selfish for raising a child alone.
In Japan, the reality is that being a single mother often doesn't leave a good impression. Oftentimes, we find ourselves in a difficult financial situation, and it is not uncommon for people to think that poverty equals our own fault.
This is a common belief held by many.
The thing is that this thing often are true, like... It's sad for people that it's not the case, but the simplifications or stereotypes aren't random, they exist because something was shown many times over and over and over again. And stereotypes can be created falsely by propagandizing lies, but they often are created by just people doing stuff certain way or having certain qualities, and it's not wrong in itself, it's just pattern recognition in humans. We of course should look at person to person how they are, but the first impressions often matter. That's just a reality of it.
Many Japanese people based on the current standings of this group. According to a scholarly paper, evidence from low-income single mothers in contemporary Japan, 51.4% of single mother households in Japan live below the poverty line, which is one of the highest rates among developed countries. Many people just overlook how hard it is of truly raising a kid alone in Japan.
No matter how hard we work, we also face prejudice, such as you only care about work and neglect your child, or I don't think.
The thing is, like I said, I saw it even in documentary about Japan that there are women that fits that description, that care about work but then don't care about their partner or other stuff. And of course the role of the mother is to take care of their children, the household. Of course, father should be also there to help in taking care of the child and teaching them how to live properly. So, as I understand the pain of the person, I also understand why this is the way it is, because this is the way that created our current societies. You can think they are wrong, but this is wrong on the subject. But the household, the family is bedrock of society. If you change it, you completely change the society to something that is different. Maybe not at the beginning, but after the time stuff change. If you take fundaments from house, after the time it will sink into the earth. If you so like if you want to replace it, you should replace it something that is of equal value to what you want. And the truth also is that the families like that are trained on the rest of the society. It's people. I will word this carefully. Society helps you because it cares about its people. But the truth is that you aren't like others, and you often need support, and people understand that, and for them it's like hard sometimes to accept that, though I think most of the people care about people like that, but many think that you should take care of your house by yourself, and some people like don't do that. In many countries, single mothers live on welfare, and yeah, it's I yeah, much more than usual, but this is kinda topic that is dear to my heart, because I met and seen so many people with different situations in house that I just want it for families to be healthier. That's all. Maybe I'm too naive. Maybe it's not future that we will have I hope that isn't the case. Well, no matter.
You can properly raise your child. The truth is, we work that hard because we care about our child. However, I feel like it is hard for others to understand that.
I could definitely feel Ray's frustration of people looking down on single mothers like her who put everything on the line for their children. She shares
Most
things
people
like,
don't know
as a
her,
mother,
though.
what brings me the most joy is seeing my daughter smile.
Most people don't know her. Like, for every mother like her, there are many that are the negative stereotype. Like, you never really know who you approach if you don't know them. You can assume, and people usually assume worse when they deal with somebody they don't know. It's defense mechanism of sorts.
No matter how tired I am, Reika's adorable smile always heals me, or observes that children mimic what parents do as they grow up. That's why I have to work hard to be a role model for my daughter. When I hear these deep, meaningful answers about being a single mother, I can only show my respect for people like Ray. My respect for her only grew further as she gave encouragements to single parents out there diligently raising their children on their own.
You don't have to be perfect, and don't work too hard. The worst thing that can happen is for a parent to fall ill, especially a single parent. I used to keep pushing myself to the limit and ended up falling ill. My viewers scolded me for it, so I've been more mindful of my workload.
What I just like about Ray's
My feeling is that the best thing single mother can do for their child is having a father, the good man. I think that the children need two parents, man and female. Man to teach them the values and limits, and women to take care of them. There are people that can do both, and there are families where the mother teaches and father cares, but most usually it's the way I said, and it's been shown that single parent families have that children from that type of families have hard life in the future. They often have problems with socialization, and they can be more depressed or have other mental issues. So yeah, working hard for your child is important, but you also should find somebody noble that would help you. It's not something that you can do usually on yourself. Like one person to raise the child isn't enough. And I know this probably is hard for most people. Most people probably have problems after their failed relationship or their partner dying or leaving them for other reasons. I know that. I understand that. I don't say it that it's you must do it, that I don't want to force you to do it, but it's just what is the healthiest for children. As much as I respect this person, as much as I am happy for her, as much as I find her life inspiring and I'm inspired for how she struggles with it, how she look at it. The thing is that this isn't model of the family. It should inspire your mother for being for the caring side and the bravery of it and love for the child, but don't get inspired by part of her being single mother. It's not the part that should be looked at. You should see it as the hardship, the bad thing that should be that you shouldn't try to have. And you should look how person with that situations should overcome it and try to have the best with situation they have. I don't talk this from experience of or anything. It's just how I see the world. That there are people that have bad parts in their life and they have impressive parts in their life, and I think we should copy what is desired. But to do that, we need to know what is desirable. And as far as we know, as far as our ancestors know, the home isn't complete without both mother and father and at least one child. And this is the way for fulfilling life. So if you are not the person of any order or any movement or any higher dedication, the most fulfilling earthly dedication you can make is for family, like that. The family is the most fulfilling earthly thing, the closest thing on earth that you can approach. To approach heaven, it's hard and not everyone have strength to endure it.
Story is that it provides so much hope. She's able to show people that there's always a way, despite your circumstances or the way people label you. For me though, at a certain point, I straight up asked her, how in the world did you persevere through all these life challenges? For her specifically, being a single mother is hard enough, but she also had to deal with other life curveballs, like having her father pass away last year, or dealing day to day with her physically weak body. To that question, she had a short but profound answer.
The more difficult experiences a person has gone through, the more they are able to save someone's soul. The person who never gives up until the end will undoubtedly succeed. These two phrases have always remained in my heart. Since I was young, I have experienced various illnesses and long-term hospitalizations. Even now, I often can't sing well due to my throat and ear illnesses. But I believe that you will eventually be rewarded for pushing through these tough situations.
This has been the story of Otsuka Rei and her inspiring story of being a single mother VTuber raising her precious 4-year-old daughter, Reika. If you want to support her in any way, all of her social info will be down below. She has expressed deep interest in interacting with overseas fans, so don't be afraid in showing her some love. I will also be assisting her in this really monumental project that US fans will appreciate, so be on the lookout for that. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to indulge in my 20th replay of Reika-chan belting out Loligot Requiem, so peace!
This was nice, wholesome story. I yap a lot about my views. Probably I taken too much of the video with it. I hope you don't mind it. So the video will be of course in the video description, and yeah, bye, and remember, when you shine, darkness fades. Bye.